Yo, what is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Samore Raider, back at it again with another episode of Nation News. And on this episode of Nation News, should the Raiders be considering bringing in Dwayne the Bust Haskins to the team? Such a stupid question, right? On top of that, I'm going to be giving you guys your weekly COVID/injury updates. And it looks like Derek Dallas Carr will be starting in the season finale of the Same Old Raiders 2020 edition. All of that in this episode of Nation News.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
So for your first bit of Nation News, let's talk about Dwayne Haskins. Now, we all know that Dwayne Haskins got released by the Washington football team on Monday after spending 2 seasons with the team. Only 2 seasons. Shit, at least Jamarcus Russell lasted longer, right? Now, I'm not going to say that Dwayne Haskins is just as big of a bust as Jamarcus Russell. I mean, considering that he's still young and he might get a chance elsewhere. But if you were to ask me, it shouldn't be with the Raiders. And I know a lot of people have been asking me and DMing me, yo, Simone Raider, should the Raiders go out and get Dwayne Haskins, bring him onto the team as a backup? Hell no, I wouldn't want him on this team at all. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go out and say, you know, yo, Mac Mayock and John Gruden were really digging Dwayne Haskins in the 2019 NFL draft, and they had a private workout with him, and he's like their top prospect, so why not? Nah, we have 2 capable quarterbacks already right now with Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. If we were to go out and get Dwayne Haskins, we're only taking steps back, and I don't care if John Gruden is a quarterback guru. If we were to go in a different direction other than Derek Carr, I'd rather go into the draft or pick up somebody else or even start Marcus Mariota before I even think about Dwayne Haskins. So I don't want to hear Dwayne Haskins and the Raiders in the same sentence again. It's been a crazy week for Dwayne Haskins, and I'm not even gonna lie, you know, from partying without a mask to being demoted from team captain to being benched on Sunday's game and then blowing off the media after the game. It's just a crazy week, and I don't want that on the team because there's no reason for the Raiders to go out and pick up a guy like Dwayne Haskins. And on top of that, Dwayne Haskins cleared waivers, meaning no other team on top of that, the Raiders, were really interested in Dwayne Haskins. Everybody's okay with the players that they have and the quarterbacks that they have. So the only reason why I wanted to bring this whole thing up was because a lot of people were asking about it, and I know that whenever somebody gets released or even cut, a lot of Raider fans want to go out real quick and say, yo, should the Raiders go out and pick him up? I mean, he could help with the team, or he could be a backup, you know, be a cheap option. But the Raiders don't need to bring in everybody or look at everybody. Now, I know I wish they would have went out and got a guy like Earl Thomas, but you know what? That's besides the point. But as for Dwayne Haskins on this team, that's a big no for me. Now, I know that I told you guys how I felt about this situation, but let me ask you, Raider Nation. Should the Raiders take a chance on Dwayne Haskins and bring him onto this team? Type Y for yes and type HN for hell no. Now let's get over to your injury updates, and the main person on the list is Clelin Ferrell. As you guys already know, Clelin Ferrell has missed the last 2 games after being injured in the Colts Week 14 matchup. And John Gruden came out on Monday and said that Clelin Ferrell isn't expected to play this week in the season finale versus the Broncos. So if he doesn't play in this game, that'll be 3 straight games for Clelin Ferrell being out. That's a huge blow for this defensive line, and I know I say it every single week, but it's true. We don't put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Now, I know we did last week. We did a better job last week against Tua, but against Ryan Fitzpatrick, it was kind of tough. But this does suck, because if Clelin Ferrell is out, that puts an end to his season this year. Now, a lot of things have been going on with Clelin Ferrell this year, which sucks, you know, from injuries to being placed on the COVID list and then being injured again, you know, causing him to be out for the last 3 games of the season. If you look at his total season stats, he's had a total of 27 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, and that was only in 11 games. Hopefully, he can bounce back next season and have a bigger year, because he was on the up and up this year before everything just started going downhill for him. So I am hoping that he comes back next year stronger, and especially with Paulie G now gone, hopefully he can reach his full potential. But this is some sad news, and it does kind of suck hearing about this, and it does suck not having Clelin Ferrell out there to help, you know, his compadre Max Crosby and the rest of this defensive line. But some good news, linebacker Nicholas Morrow has been activated off of the COVID/reserve list. He was placed on the COVID list just last week after coming coming into contact with someone that had COVID. That was a huge blow for this team, but he should be able to come back this week and have a chance to play against the Broncos in the season finale. As you guys all know, I'm a big fan of Nicholas Morrow, and he is one of the only bright spots on this defensive side. Now, our defense did a great job last week without him, with Corey Littleton and Raekwon McMillan stepping up in his absence, but it will be great to see Nicholas Morrow back this week, especially in a game that, it would be nice for us to win. Now, another player that has been activated off of the COVID/reserve list is David Irving. He has been taken off and is now back on the practice squad. Now, I do believe that he has a chance to be activated onto the 53-man roster right before the game. That would be good because it will provide some depth to this defensive line. Now, so far this season, we haven't seen much of him. He only been activated for 2 games, and in those 2 games, he has 4 tackles, no sacks. So this is just some good news to hear that David Irving will be back and most likely playing this week. Other guys like Nick Wachowski, Daryl Worley, and Eric Harris are still on the COVID/reserve list as of right now, but I expect them to be taken off sometime this week, and they'll most likely have a chance to play as well in the season finale against the Broncos, which would be a huge plus for this team, and especially for this defense to have as many players out there on Sunday against the Broncos. We'll definitely need the help. And after looking at last week's performance, especially on the defensive side, other than the last drive, Rod Marinelli really has this defense going, and hopefully these guys can come in and at least, finish off the season strong. Now let's talk about Derek Dallas Carr. Now, we all know that last week Derek Carr returned to action after suffering a groin injury, and there was a lot of questions leading up to the Dolphins Saturday night game whether the Raiders were going to start Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota on Saturday night. As we all know, Derek Carr started and finished that Saturday night game, and we didn't see no action from Marcus Mariota, which got a couple people mad and a couple people sad. Derek Carr did have a solid game, having 336 yards, 1 touchdown, and had 1 touchdown on the ground. But John Gruden came forward on the Monday's press conference and confirmed that Derek Carr will be the starter going into this week's matchup. John Gruden said Derek Carr will start and finish the season, just like we had anticipated he would. Whether Marcus Mariota has a role in this, we'll wait and see. So that really shoots down all of our hopes of having Marcus Mariota at least get some play time, but he did hint off that Marcus Mariota might have a role in this game or not, but we'll see. Now, my last question to you, Raider Nation, before I leave: should the Raiders play Derek Carr in the season finale, or should we let Marcus Mariota go out there and see what he has? And should the Raiders win this game or lose this game? Or do you not care? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, if you were to ask me, I believe the Raiders should just win this game and go out with a bang. I mean, I wouldn't want to lose to the Broncos again like we did last year at the end of the season, going into the last game 7-8, and we lost the last game and ended up being 7-9. I mean, 7-9 just sucks. I mean, 8-8 is just a little bit better, but it really doesn't mean much. But I know a lot of you guys probably have different outtakes and different outlooks and different opinions of what we should do, because I know the draft is going to have a lot of good players in it, and I know for us, we could definitely use the help, especially on the defensive side. Now, positioning doesn't really matter if we can't draft the right players, and lately, especially in this last draft, as hyped as we were, there wasn't really any standouts. As of right now, the Raiders sit at the 16th overall pick in the draft, but we might move up or down depending on if we win or lose. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today in this episode of Nation News. Is there anything that I missed, or what are your thoughts on all of the subjects at hand? Drop it down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button. It does a lot for this channel. And if this is the first time you're watching this video and you enjoy Raider content, then hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. And the off season is just around the corner, so you might want to tune in on the Samoan Raider channel for all your news and updates throughout the whole off season. With that being said, until the next video, this is your boy Samoan Raider, and your boy is and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.